Alrighty, my friends, let us get going. Again, lesson 18. We are going to solve two-step word problems using the four operations. Again, those four operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. You have been introduced to this in prior chapters when we've gone a little bit deeper and we've challenged ourselves in doing multiple steps in word problems. So today what we're going to do is we're going to apply what you know to solve problems that are slightly more complex and in a word form. So putting those close read strategies to work is going to be really important here. And I cannot emphasize it enough that you will need to make certain that you understand what is being asked of you before you attempt to solve the problem. All right? So again, page 387 up here at the top in this bold print where my purple flare pen is pointing. We're going to talk about the shirt shack. Here we go. The shirt shack has 438 t-shirts at the end of the day. Then they receive a delivery of new shirts in which the shirts come in four different colors: green, gray, orange, purple, and there are 8 shirts of each color. How many t-shirts does the store have now? Now, again, friends, close reading is so incredibly important here. Let us first understand what the question is asking us before we attempt to solve it. Now, let's break it apart. So this shirt shack currently has 438 t-shirts. This is what we start with, 438. Okay. And then they receive a delivery of new shirts. So they are receiving new shirts, and there are 4 different colors, 8 shirts of each color. How many t-shirts does the store have now? How many t-shirts does the store have now? That is the big question. So what I'm going to do to help my brain to remind myself that this question is asking about the total number of shirts, the total number. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this in 2 steps. I'm going to do this in 2 steps. So I know that I currently have 438 t-shirts. All right. I need to find out 2 things. The first thing I need to find out is how many new shirts. How many new shirts? That's the first thing I need to find out. And then I need to find out the new total. Those are the 2 things I need to find out. Those are going to be my steps. So step 1, how many new shirts? Well, the question tells me that. 4 different colors, 8 in each color. So how many new shirts? I have 8 green, and then I have 8 gray, and I have 8 orange, and I have 8 purple. And if I forward count by 8, or if I do multiplication 4 times 8, remember multiplication is adding together equal groups, right? So I have 8, 16, 24, 32. So I have 32 new shirts. I have 32 new shirts. But that's not what the question is asking me. The question is asking me, how many shirts does the store have now? I need to take those new shirts and I need to add them to what the store currently has. So new shirts added to current shirts. 438 current shirts plus 32 new ones. And when I do this addition, I'm going to find that the store now has 470 total shirts. 470. Please make sure you're taking notes here, friends. And so again, let us review what we've done. The Shirt Shack has 438 shirts. They get new shirts in 4 different colors, 8 of each. How many shirts does the Shirt Shack have now in total? 438 current, 32 new, adding them together, 470 in total. Please pay special attention to the steps involved. To the steps involved in finding the solution to this problem. You first need to add together the new shirts. And then you will need to add that to the current. Step number 1, step number 2. Remember our learning target here, friends. 2-step word problems. 2-step word problems. All right? I'll give you another moment to make sure you're getting those notes down. So on page 388, where it says connected here in green, we're going to kind of reflect on what we've done. It says to explain how you found how many t-shirts the store has now. Explain how you found how many t-shirts the store has now. So what I did is I found the number of new shirts and added them to the current shirts. I found the number of new shirts and added them to the current shirts. And so in question 2, where it says to look ahead, You can use equations to solve two-step word problems. You can use an equation for each step or combine both steps into one equation. Let's take a look at this new question here in number 2. Now we're going to talk about some hats. A hat store has 45 hats. They sell 20. The rest of the hats sit on 5 shelves with the same number of hats on each shelf. How many hats are on each shelf? Lots going on in this problem, my friends. You've got to solve this in 2 steps. You need to figure out how many hats are left, and then you need to equally divide those hats onto 5 different shelves. All right? So let's break this problem apart. Let's complete the equations to solve the problem. How many hats do we have to start? How many hats? Well, we have 45. 45 hats. How many did we sell? We sold 20. How many hats are left? 45 minus 20 equals 25. We have 25 hats left. This next question is asking, how many hats are left? 25. How many shelves? 5. How many are on each? 25 divided by 5 is, in fact, 5. Can you use the inverse operation of multiplication to check your work? Yes, you can. You can take this quotient of 5, multiply it by the divisor, which is 5, and that gives you 25. All right. It also says you can do this with one equation to solve. Let's see if they're right. Hats to start. Again, back to 45. Hats sold. We sold 20. And we need to divide that difference by 5. So remember, friends, when we see the parentheses, these parentheticals are saying that that operation needs to be performed first. The subtraction, the operation of subtraction must be performed first. So 45 minus 20 is 25, which now takes that away, divided by 5 equals 5. Okay, now here it's talking about how we're solving a problem with 2 equations and with 1 equation alike, and how are they different. Both ways solve each step of the problem. But with 1 equation, you're just putting both steps together. That's the difference. Going back to that comparing and contrasting, right? So both ways solve each step in the problem. With 1 equation, you put both steps together. So again, both ways solve each step in the problem. With one equation, you put both steps together. I'll give you just a moment to get the rest of those notes down, and then we're going to come back together for a bit of discussion.